Today on Drawbli, Abby is drawing teeth?
Kiera Knightley.
Okay, just starting off with the lips here. Click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve.
Abby had told me before we got in here that she's drawing Kiera Knightley, and then I just see some teeth very close up.
I know. Oh, well, you know, every good artist starts with a very detailed mouth and works their way up from there. It's the recipe for success when drawing faces. Start with a detailed mouth. Don't sketch everything out in advance. Start with a detailed mouth.
Start with the details.
Also, it might have been 2 a.m. and I might not have been able to sleep, and this might have been how I planned to lull myself back to slumber.
By drawing some teeth. I like that you are doing some of your contours, like, you know, trying to make everything look three-dimensional. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Especially after we just did all of that face studying.
Yeah.
So you started to apply a lot of that here, I guess.
Trying to apply what I know, and I
What
really
do you
like.
know?
Well, I know that I am no master of this topic yet, but that's just a repetition game, you know? I have to repeat and repeat and repeat.
A fool's game.
Nah, maybe.
So why did you decide to draw Kiera Knightley?
Well, lately...
As you mentioned, it was nightly when you
was
worked on
nightly,
this.
It was nightly, yes. Lately, if I really just want to start working, one way I've found that works pretty well to get me just working versus trying to figure out what to work on is...
Just to grab some teeth, yeah.
is to go back in the images saved on my iPad from long ago.
Yes.
You know, because I would save things, be like, oh, maybe I'll draw this. And actually, for Drawbli, I did draw Kiera Knightley a long time ago.
Yeah.
Ba-ding! Right back when we were still like recording right next to each other.
I remember that one.
Drawing as we spoke.
And I did Jack Sparrow.
Ba-donk!
Whoa, why is my sound effect so crude?
It was for a man. That's a man. That's a boy
man's sound.
What's a man's sound? Ba-donk! Why don't you come over here and sound like a real man? Ba-donk! Okay, enough of this. Anyway, it was 2 a.m.
You're doing enough of this. Like, you're not the instigator of literally every part of it.
Who let me in here? Anyway, I appreciated working on this because I knew that I would learn as I went. It is very intimidating to work on a pretty female face because they are difficult to get right.
Hard to make things look beautiful.
Yeah, a funky looking old dude, you can mess it up a little bit and nobody will really know.
He's
but
still
a
funky.
Pretty lady, and not to mention not just any pretty lady, but a well-known pretty lady is difficult.
Oh, did you just completely get rid of your contours here and just say your original lines and not use them?
I actually kind of bring them in just a little bit.
Yay.
Just a little bit. I think they do a lot for what I had around the eyes. So I brought them back in for that.
And the nose and the mouth?
I think I got rid of them mostly around the mouth because they look like old crow's feet wrinkles, and she's not old. If she was old, I would have left them in. She is yet young.
That's fair. That's true. But it does, at least it helps me to see, like, where those lines are going. And,
yeah.
like, if you turn them off, or if I turn them off, after a while, I, like, forget, and I make more mistakes as I go forward.
Yeah. I think in this, I do some turning on and off of the lines. Just to keep myself, exactly like you said, on track, because it is easy to get off track when you abandon your original structure. You're zooming in, trying to get detail. Next thing you know, you zoom out and you're like, oh, I've created the mouth to be 3 times that size that it originally was, or something like that.
Yeah, and you're doing black and white, but I think you add color to this later, right?
Yeah, I just do that little TikTok trick I saw.
Oh, the TikTok trick.
TikTok trick of just
gradient
getting, just the gradient mapping. If you want to splash some color in, but you just want to do that and you don't really want to add it, then that's a great way to go. Now, in our art school, I just started watching, and it's after I finished this, but I just started watching the videos on color palettes.
Oh, I've not yet gotten to the colors.
Well, they're after the secret shape section,
Well, I did watch the secret shapes.
which was really good. I really liked it.
Look, we can't tease the secret shapes unless we're going to show the secret shapes or talk about them, and we're not going to do that right now. So
fair.
You're being a tease.
I'm being a tease. Oh no.
A secret shape tease. The most secret of shapes.
Oh gosh. Okay. Anyway.
I was gonna say one thing that I find really helpful when working on a portrait like this in black and white is actually just taking all the color out of your reference, because color, like certain colors can have different value ranges. Like yellow is inherently brighter than blue.
Oh, that's a really
kind of
good
thing.
point.
Like it has a higher value at the
That-
same like essential level.
That's great advice. I will have to remember that.
I find it easier at least.
Yeah. Not long after doing this portrait, I attempted yesterday another portrait, and I abandoned it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was so bad. Like, I sketched it out and it looked bad. So I kind of sketched it. I twiddled, I tweaked it, I did different
What
things
was
to
going
it.
on? What was so hard about it?
I'm not sure, but this one, looks like a face. It doesn't look like...
This one looks like a face. It's,
And the other-
it's got all the face parts in there.
Yeah, and for some reason my other portrait kept looking like a flounder, like flatfish with both eyes, like sticking out of one side of itself.
I don't believe you.
It was so funny.
Is it like a weird pose, like a weird perspective?
It's not, no.
I'll have to look at it.
Okay,
I don't believe
stay
you.
tuned. Sometime maybe I'll show you my attempt at Amy Adams.
Okay.
But for now, Kiera Knightley is good enough for me. So that happened.
So that happened. So you've been practicing a lot of your stuff here in terms of like what we just covered from our assignments. Is there anything, because I find like right after I do an assignment and then I try to practice all that stuff on my own without like the guide of a lesson or anything like that, I find that that's when I learn the most, like taking the training wheels off, kind of going off on your own.
Yeah.
Was there any like big takeaways that you had from this?
No, but I'm a pretty big proponent of the idea that you don't always recognize takeaways in the moment. You don't always realize that you're progressing.
I will also say there's that thing that you were talking about where you're not fully, you have some opacity on some of your paint.
Yeah, I did go back and fix that on her forehead. I saw that too. I was like, oh man.
So no big takeaways, but any takeaways at all? Like an area of the face where you're like, man, noses, I got on lock now.
No, definitely more like takeaways like, man, I gotta work on everything. But I already knew that, so no big revelation there. No big revelations. I had a good time. I finished this up the next day after I got up and wasn't up at 2 a.m. anymore, and had a great time. We were at where were we? Was that a coffee shop?
Yeah.
Where was I? Yeah, so there she is. Kiera Knightley, in the flesh.
Wow. I love that you always like to put your little texture on the background with your little textured paper. It's very fun.
I downloaded a bunch of those files a long time ago, and they're my favorite.
I actually think this looks great. I think there's like a little weird perspective thing going on with the side of her face. The left versus right, there's like a little bowing out. I think it's more so like the volume of the hair causing some awkward illusion there. But otherwise, I mean, I think it really speaks to your values here that you just apply this gradient effect on it and it works super well.
Oh yeah, actually that's a good point, is if you slap some gradient mapping on it and that looks fine, then maybe you did an okay job.
Maybe you did an okay job.
Maybe you did an okay job. For a couple hours of work, I will take it. This is a little shorter of a video today, but hey, it was a little bit shorter of a painting, so you're welcome. And
You're welcome. Wow. So that's where we are now. We've achieved a new level where we're just telling everyone you're welcome. You're welcome for this.
for this shorter video and shorter painting.
Well, hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see some more You're Welcome videos in the future, click that subscribe button.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
And share your art using the hashtag Drawbli. This is the end title screen. And that's pretty cool. Benjamin, say something.
Good
Good effort.